Hi, my name is Morten, and in this video we will be looking at how we can display products in the category we are looking at in the current context. So here we have our store again, and if I navigate to formal, we will of course see an empty category because we haven't filled in anything just yet. But it is actually displaying the different categories that we have output here in our menu. So before we go ahead and write any code, let's try to go into the backend to see how the categories and products are related to each other. Here in the Ucommerce backend, we can navigate the product catalog that we have up here in the catalog section. We have, of course, the first level here, which is the stores, and then we have our catalog that we discussed earlier as well. And here we have all the different categories. What I could do now was that I could right click on formal and say I want a product in here, giving it a stock keeping unit. Can also of course go in and visit the products that I have from previously, which is already existing in here. And remember that the categories here is an infinite deep structure of categories that we can have, so we can categorize and create just the structure that we want for our web shop. And on each of the categories we have products that are placed within this category. What I can do is I can click on the add product here, and that will give me the ability to select and search for products that are within the catalog somewhere, just to add them in here. I can add multiple products in one go, and I can remove multiple as well. And I can also go in on each of the products and categorize them across stores and catalogs if I want to do that. But since we only have one store and one catalog in our system here, it's not something that are really relevant for us. But if we wanted to, the product will just seamlessly exist across both catalogs and stores. Which of course means that if the language changes, if pricing changes, the product will of course show the right data based on that. So here on my product data, I can go in and say I want this product here to live across all these different categories here if I want to. It's basically just a relation between the product and the category. So it's not really that the product exists in all these categories here for one relation of each of them. It's just a relation inside the database. And I can of course have all one of those. So that's where we expect the products to come from. So let's go back to our code and see if we can make this happen. I am still on the masterclass category controller here because we're creating code on the product listing on the category page. So we want the products to show up here on the front end on the category page. So of course need to reuse this. In the next exercise we're going to build the actual product page, so we need to navigate from the category into the product, where we will swap pages and thus also a controller. But for now we are still writing code in here. So we have mapped our category. Now we just need to grab our products from the current category. Remember that the current category is coming from the context that we're in right now. So on the site context, I could grab the catalog context, which will tell me what the current category we're looking at right now is. So we're using this current category here as the context to where our products is coming from. The way that we want to do it is that we have a little helper method down here on line 28. And that takes in a collection of Ucommerce entities v2.product, which is the model that we're using for this. And this is again all the entities that we have in Ucommerce is placed underneath this namespace here. So that's where you're looking if you're searching for something. On our category view model, we have a list of products that we want to set. And I grab those by calling map products. So our helper method down here will do all the work for us. We still need to use the proper API for this. And again, I'm using the top level API, which is the catalog library. And I'm calling the method here called getProducts. that takes in a category, and the category that we want to display products for. In this case, it's the current category. Again, if we explore current category, which is the in Hibernate model, we're going to take a much deeper look at that on the deep dive part of the course. But if we take a look at the model here very quickly, we can see that we have something called category product relations, which is actually the data structure that holds the relationship between products and categories in the system. We could go directly on this collection here if we wanted to, but as we discussed earlier on the training here, is that we should always use the proper APIs to extract the right data. As a rule of thumb, always do that. So if there's a proper API to use, then always use that. So I don't want to go directly on the category product relations here. In reality, the collection here exists mostly for in Hibernate and not for us. So we should always use the APIs if a suitable one can be found. So I do that, and I call Ucommerce API catalog library.getProducts. We pass in the current category from our context, and now we can map the product data down here. And what I want to do is simply iterate the categories, the products in our category, and the type that I'm iterating here is the Ucommerce Entities v2 type. And I want to map this into our product view model, which is the type that we're returning. So let's start out by adding the actual product to our list. Like this. And here on the product view model, we have also the concept of variants. But since we are creating a product listing here and we're not displaying any variants just yet, we'll just start out by mapping the SKU, the stock keeping unit. And we will also map the name. And again, we can use the Ucommerce extensions namespace. So let's see if I have, yeah, I already have that imported up here. So I can call product.displayName, which, as discussed previously, will just grab the display name from the product in whatever language the site is running right now. And that's of course up for Umbraco to tell us what that is, and then Ucommerce will just play along nicely and say, okay, Umbraco, you said we run Danish, so we'll return the Danish display name. And that's actually it for now. We will map the SKU and the name and see if we can have the products put in here, and after that we will try to create our pricing structure for the products as well. So I will build my solution and try to refresh our front end. So let's go to formal again. And here we have all the products in formal. We could argue that the listing here is not very nice. So we can always try to make this more beautiful if we have time to spare. There's also a bonus exercise to add in images and stuff like that. We haven't created the link just yet. We will do that in the next exercise as well, where we will see how Umbraco and Ucommerce plays along together nicely in order to figure out what the product page should be. Alright, it's time for you guys to write some code. Pause the video and recreate the same code you just saw in this video. Try to explore the APIs that we used in order to grab the products and to set the display name and the SKU. And see if you can get the products listed on the category. Once you're done with the exercise, come back for a brief recap on what we just discussed. Please remember to use the handouts if you're in doubt on what we did, and use around 5 to 10 minutes on this exercise and then come back. See you soon. Okay, let's do a little recap on what we did. In this exercise, we wanted to display products in the category that we are looking at right now in the current context. We went into the back end and saw how we could categorize products either by adding multiple products in one go to a single category, or we could go in on the product editor and set the category relations between this single product and many categories in one go. We also discussed that we can have multiple products living in multiple categories, even across catalogs and stores. So if we have different brands with different languages or different price points, and we want to display products in each of those channels, then we can of course do that, and the product will just behave nicely based on what Umbraco tells us that we're looking at. In the next exercise, we will add a link and pricing points to our products. So see you in the next video, and thanks for watching.